Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Unicorn Dust Design. And if you're new, hi, my name is Sammy. Thank you for clicking on this video. Today, we are going to try and attempt to dupe this tiered tray that I saw on Pinterest. I am not a big tiered tray person, but I saw this and was like, I want it. Let's see if we can make it. So let's go ahead and get into the video and see what we came out with.
Here we go, y'all. So this is my first time ever making a tiered tray with wood. I've done it with Dollar Tree items before, but never like a nice one like this. So I'm not going to go over wood measurements in the video because I will put it in the description box. I promise, I already wrote them down. They will be there for you. So I am taking 3 pieces of what's going to be our tiered tray. I am using truffle and a baby wipe to stain the wood. I chose to do it this way because I wanted a fast dry time versus using my stain, which would have taken a while. Then once all of those are dry, I'm going to take my linen white chalk paint by Rust-Oleum, and I'm going to take my chip brush and I'm going to do a messy paint job on this. You're going to do the front, the back, and the sides to all pieces of your wood except one, which you will see later in the video. Now, you guys, in this video, I'm going to kind of make it like formatted to show you an organized way of doing something like this where you have a lot of small pieces and a lot of painting and so forth. So we're going to do the tiered tray first, and then we're going to go into the tiered tray decor. Okay, so now I'm taking my finial caps. I get these at Walmart. They come in a mixed bag with these like little fat ones and then these little ones next to it. I think they come in an 8-pack or a 6-pack. I am choosing to use the smaller ones. You also have to check if they are all even as well, so you don't have a crooked tiered tray. Then I'm going to take the baby wipe, I'm going to take truffle, and I'm going to do the same exact thing I did with my wood. I am just going to quickly stain those, and then what I do is I get those finial caps after, and gosh, what a messy job. Are you guys messy crafters like I am, or do you wear gloves when you're doing like painting and staining and all that? Especially with chalk paint, I'm like, you could just wash it off after. So anyways, after I'm done staining these, I then just stick them on. You could do a paintbrush. I'm putting it on a pen, and then I am painting them white. Now I'm going to attach them with my tight bond wood glue. I would probably, if I could do this again, use my Star Bond super glue because wood glue does not dry clear. So when you put it on something this small and it comes out from underneath, I tried to get a paper towel and wipe off the excess, but there was still a little bit that showed. And when it dried down to be this like yellow butter color. So just FYI there. Now that all of our pieces are painted, I'm going to use polyacrylic clear matte water-based. You want to make sure it's water-based, especially when you're using light colors so that it does not turn your paint yellow. And then I always apply mine with a chip brush, but you can use a roller or any paintbrush. This is, like I said, water-based, so it will wash right out of your brushes. Now, I am going to, like I said, we're going to do the front, the back, all of it. And I am going to do at least 2 coats. You would use polyacrylic when you are doing anything for indoor use. Like you can do coffee tables, things like that, where it's going to be touched a lot or you're going to be setting things on it. You want to use something like polyacrylic. So I am also going to grab this beautiful spindle. Now, y'all, this was painted, this was black. Then I had used it and painted it white at one time. I used that Easy Off hack, the Easy Off stove cleaner, sprayed it on, wiped it off, and it gave me this beautiful wood, black, some white on it. Was loving it. All right, now let's put our tiered tray together. So this is the smallest piece of our tiered tray. I am making an X with my ruler to find the center. Then I am going to take my drill and I am going to pre-drill my holes. You saw this when we did the North Pole sign last week. So I'm pre-drilling that hole. Then lucky for me, the spindle that we're using, since I had used it before, already had a hole in the middle on one side of it. So all I had to do was kind of just drill a little further down in there. Now I'm going to take my long screws that have a flat head on them, and I am going to pre-drill that through so that just a little bit is sticking out the other side. So you'll see this comes out the other side. Here we go. And then I'm kind of just going to screw that spindle on there, and then I'm going to tighten that up. Now, we are going to go to our bottom piece. We are going to do the same thing. I am making an X. So I start one corner to the other corner, and then this is going to help us find that center. I'm going to pre-drill that hole once again. Now I'm going to take the spindle. You guys, I do not know how to find the center. I'm sure I could find a video of a circle to save my life. I always think I do and then I don't. So I eyeballed it and then just measured on each side to make sure it was centered. And then I will drill a hole into this spindle. Now I'm going to flip the bottom part, our big side, whatever, our big piece of wood. I flip it over. You could see that screw is poking out. And sorry you can't see this, but all I'm doing is putting that spindle on it and kind of getting it attached. Now I will take my screw gun and I will make sure that I screw that baby on there nice and tight. And the screws have flat heads, so it won't cause any bumpiness when I apply this third piece of wood for our top. Now you can't see me, I'm sorry, but what I did was I set this on top. I marked out the X so I know where to set it and where my middle is. I applied my wood glue. I put the tiered tray back on and I let it set up overnight. And now a word from your sponsor.
I hope you're enjoying this kind of dupe tiered tray video. Like I said, I am not big on tiered trays. I've never had room for one, but I saw this tiered tray and was like, I have to make this because it is so beautiful. And I knew that we could dupe it with things from the Dollar Tree or things we have in our craft stash. So I hope you're enjoying the inspiration, and I hope it inspires you to maybe get some inspiration somewhere and try to recreate it for yourself instead of going out and buying it at the big box stores. So you guys, you know the drill. If you're digging me, if you're digging the DIYs, if you are digging this channel, then make sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below. And please take a minute to go check out my website. I will be loading more t-shirts and flannels as the days go on. And then I have tons of SVG files for purchase as well. All right, you guys, let's get back into it.
Now we're going to get into painting all of our decor pieces. So remember in the beginning of the video, I said I'm just trying to show you an organized way of doing it. So the colors in this decor is just white and a tan color. I chose to use my linen white by Rust-Oleum, and then I'm going to use sand by Waverly. So what I did was I already pre-cut all of my pieces of wood. Remember, the sizes will be in the description box. I put all of the things that I was going to paint in white together, all of the things I was going to paint in sand together. This was just going to make it easier. Then I'm taking, you guys are probably like, what is this? These were the Dollar Tree plungers that I had cut down to size. I was inspired to make these. These are going to be our rolling pins by LF Rustics. I have done some of her work before in Try It Tuesday. I'll leave her TikTok down in the description box. So we are doing this sand color. This sand color by Waverly is absolutely beautiful. It is the most perfect, like nudish tan color. I don't know. It's like a sand color. That's what it is. So I'm sorry, the baby is kind of waking up. So I'm going to paint all of the sand pieces. Now we're going to take those finial caps. So basically you'll need 10 total for this entire video. And I am going to take the dark wax by DIY and I'm going to rub my fingers over all of that. Sorry if you could hear the baby in the background. She is fine, I promise. And I am going to rub that on, and then I will wipe off the excess of that wax with a paper towel. I really wanted these to be dark. I didn't want them the color of the hazelnut with like the baby wipe. So that's why I chose to go this route. You could also use DIY antique wax as well. And I will be right back. Back. Now we're going to build our rolling pins. So all we're taking is those finial caps and hot glue. Now I do recommend using like a super glue preferably, because I did drop one of these and the finial caps came right off the ends. So especially if you're going to resell, make sure that you put like Star Bond or like a Gorilla Glue on these. But you can see how perfect these look. And of course they sell the rolling pins at Hobby Lobby, but sometimes they're hard to find. And this is just a great inexpensive way of making your own. Okay, now I wanted to show you this little hack. If you are cutting little bitty letters that have the little dotted I's and all that stuff, those things are so hard to weed. So what you do is you take the full piece, you stick it on to your transfer tape, the stickier the better in this instance, and then you are going to weed it while it's on the transfer tape. So I just changed my blade and it was so sharp, it just kind of like cuts through everything. So I need to figure that out. But you'll see I take the paper off, and then right here, all I'm doing is just weeding everything out while it is stuck to this paper. And this just makes it so much easier to weed little tiny letters, and all the dots stay where they're supposed to. So just thought I would show you that. All right, now we're going to put together a book stack, and we are going to be doing, I think it's 2 of the sand, 2 of the whites. I'm just hot gluing these together. You could also use wood glue as well. Then I'm going to be taking now our decals. So everything that I'm going to put on these decor pieces that were black, I designed them all together, and then I cut them all at once. The same thing with anything I used with the white vinyl. That way I stayed organized and I knew where everything was going. So you can see how cute this looks. I did change up my font from what the person used in the Etsy listing. I just thought this one was a little bit more bold and stood out. Sorry, you guys, she keeps going in and out of sleep. So that's why I'm not stopping, because she needs to sleep. It's nap time. Okay, now I am moving on to my bigger sign. This one is a 6x6. And keep in mind, you guys, when I put like 1x6 or a 1x8, you actually have to measure them out, because usually they're either like 5.25 instead of a true 1x6. I hope that makes sense to you. Okay, so here's our rolling pin. Look at you guys how perfect this is. Look at how perfect. I love this. And you guys could use rub-on transfers. If you have great handwriting, you could use your own handwriting. I used my Cricut. It was just easier. I do not have great handwriting. Okay, now everything that is going to go in, or that has ribbon on it, which is basically everything in these decor pieces, we're going to do at one time. So in the Etsy image, she has like this bright color ribbon, like that's green, red, and white. And I wish I had that. And in my mind, I thought I did. Well, I didn't. So I'm using what I have, which is this black and red ribbon. And I am going to make a present with this block here. And I'm just going to do a simple design. I know I could have wrapped it around and done like our basic, bow tying box. You guys know what I'm talking about. But anyways, this is how I chose to do it this time. And then we are going to make a bunch of finger bows. There is literally, I think, a bow on everything in this tiered tray. So I cut all of my strands all at once. I make all of my finger bows all at once. That way I'm not stopping, going back, stopping, going back. It's just an easier way of getting things done a little faster and more efficient. I do have a video, I'll put it in my description box, of how to make these finger bows in real time so that it's nice and slow and you guys can pick up what I'm putting down. So this little, look at how they come out perfect every time. So I'm going to glue that right in the middle. Then we're going to take our rolling pins. Now in her image, it looks like she just wrapped the ribbon around and like tied her bow. However, I didn't think that I would get my bow to like face the way I wanted it to if I did that. So I decided to take the ribbon, do a really light strand of glue so it didn't bubble up, and then I tried to make the seams meet like right, what am I trying to say? Right together? No, you guys know what I'm talking about. I didn't want them to overlap a lot because we're going to take that finger bow and we're going to cover the seam right there. So make sure you're aware of that. I didn't want the seam in the back of it because, you know, somebody would see it. Then I'm going to take the ribbon and I'm going to wrap it around our book stack as well. So I hope you guys are seeing the flow here and the organization of like when you're doing smalls, because let me tell you, smalls is something I don't do. I've never done a tiered tray video ever on here, like with decor and everything. So I was just trying to find a way of staying organized. And then we're going to put our bows on everything. And you guys, I can't wait for you to see this final product. Look at this. Look at this. So we have everything we saw in the Etsy picture. Those are just white coffee mugs from Dollar Tree, picks from Walmart. The little reindeer ornament, I think, is from Dollar General, comes in like a 4-pack. And you guys, try new things. If you think things are hard, give them a try because you never know what you're capable of. I did not know or think I can make this beautiful tiered tray and all of its decor. That's probably why I've never done one of these videos on my channel, but I made it and I am so proud of myself. I think it looks absolutely amazing. I can't wait to display it in my home so people ask me like, oh, did you buy that at Hobby Lobby? No, girl, I made that all by myself and you can too. So here's the side by side. The Etsy picture is on the left and ours is on the right. I hope you enjoyed this type of video. Please let me know what you think about it. You guys know I appreciate you being here with me and spending your time. And I just hope I'm able to inspire you this Christmas season to DIY. Have a good one.
Excuse me, miss.
Are you talking? Hey.
Missy. Montgomery.
Baseball mom.
Montgomery. And now she's quiet. All I can think of right now is that gif of, gosh, I don't know what TV show it is, but where she like does and she has the Christmas hat on. No, just me. Okay. All right.